How are we doing, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talking to Mod. Now, today, he's travelled across the water, especially for this... Well, actually, he's got a show later on, but I just thought while we're there, we might as well do a podcast together. Hello. My very good friend, funny man, Paddy McDonnell.
Hello, send a taxi now.
5 minutes.
Send a taxi now. It's a wait transit. I watch now, it's a wee bit dodgy. What is happening, mate?
How are you, mate? Thank you for coming on. We've had a bit of a journey today, haven't we?
We have, yeah. It's not that far.
Not really. I tell everyone that all the time. Like, it literally isn't. You're on the ground longer than you are in the air.
Yeah,
you know 100%. What I mean? Waiting for the plane to take off.
And it's literally like, I used to do it all the time when I worked in London. So, I mean, it's not a big deal to me. It was a thing that I'd done weekly, you know. So it doesn't annoy me.
And of course, you're over here because you're doing a show. How's the tour been going, mate?
The tour's been amazing. Not so much in London. There'll be people there tonight, but how many, we don't know. But
listen, as long as we're there, that's all that matters.
That is the main thing. Because if we aren't there, then the couple of people that did buy tickets will have to get their money back. Fuck them. Yeah. But the tour's been brilliant, and it's one of them. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm used to Irish people and bangs. You know.
The show sold out back home, and it's been really well received. And it's one of them shows that I didn't really plan to do, and then it came about, and it seems to be probably one of the best shows I've written. You know, so it's
because you are an established comedian over in Belfast. You know, and you're one of the bigger ones. Mm-hmm. If you don't mind me saying, I'm not just blowing smoke up your own arse because you're sitting in front of me, but I mean, I've seen you. I mean, you've performed. How many times you done at the SSE?
5.
5 times. How do you feel? I just want to put, it's different for me to being a magician, completely different than it is being a comedian, right? Mm-hmm. 1 minute you're playing the SSE, and then you're going somewhere totally different where you might not be that well known, and you're in front of, say, 30, 40 people. What's the mindset like for you? Or do you just treat every single gig the same?
Every gig's just the same. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? It's I'm lucky enough wherever I go. Apart, like America was somewhere that we just started doing this year. Last year, I keep forgetting it's 26 now. It was 25, started doing it over there. And yes, there was people came that didn't know who you were. So you're sort of building again. But to me, it's just performing. Do you know what I mean? Like what you do, I think's magic. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just...
Literally.
But you know what I mean? It's just a show. It doesn't matter to you if you were playing till thousands or if you were playing till a room of 50.
100%.
It's just a performance, and it's just, so that's what I try and do. Like,
where did you get to the point in your life where you thought, you know what, I'm down in the tools, this is what I want to do?
I never thought that.
No?
That never ever happened. It was never a career path that I thought I would take, or I love comedy, but it wasn't the thing that I set out to do. You know, it's supposed to be different from you. You've probably seen a magic trick when you were a kid, and then we're like, that's unbelievable, and then you just knew it was for you. But that didn't happen to me. It was I was always a fan of comedy, and I loved watching comedy. And I would have been a clown in school, like, do you know what I mean? So always messing, always doing things, and at a party I would always be talking and up in front of people. But it wasn't until 2011 I done my first gig, and it was my wife brought me till a comedy night to get my mind off, because I had part of my finger bit off in 2007, and it took 4 years for it to go to court.
Okay.
And it was an old school teacher of mine that bit my finger off. So it really fucked my head, right? And it took 4 years to get into court. And the first day of the court case, she was like, what am I going to do to take his mind off it? Because it had took so long to get it into court. And then when we got there, it was like taking its toll. And she Googled comedy nights in Belfast on Monday night. And an open mic one came up. And she sent the fella who run it, Graham, you called him. She sent him a message and was like, I want to bring my husband over. He's a big comedy fan, and, you know, I just want to bring him over and get his... And he was like, what's his name? Got my name. We went over. It was 20 people there. And he let me in for nothing. And I'm going, why did he let me in for nothing? Sitting there, and then he called me up on stage. And I didn't think twice. I just got up and done it. And the first time I done it, I was like, it was like a drug. I was like, oh, fucking hell, that was amazing. I've never felt like that, and it took my mind off it. And then literally within 9 months, I was supporting like Des Bishop, who's a big Irish-American comedian, and at that stage, it was like, right, this is what I want to do. And I pursued it. But obviously you had to have the work going in the background. So I was a taxi man at that time. Then I went back on the tools as a joiner, coming to England. And the whole thing was I had done support for Taste of Manford.
Yeah.
And he was like, you need to go to London and give it a go, And I was like, right, I went over to London. But when I got here, it was so much money to live that I ended up working on building sites. And then I took my head out of the comedy game. I didn't really like the scene in London at the time because it was really bad when you're nobody, and you had to bring people. It's a thing called Bringer. I don't know if you know this, but there's comedy nights where you have to bring an audience member with you to do the gig. I'm in London. I didn't know anybody. So I would find a homeless person and say, do you want dinner? And
just to bring them with you.
Yeah. And then they were like, you can't bring homeless people. And I'm like, you didn't specify who I can bring, And so that was the kind of things I'd done. And I didn't really like the comedy scene here. And then went back home and just trying to get my name out and about. And I was doing it 10 years. COVID kicked in. And at that stage, I'd never took there was a lot of movie sets and movies getting made in Belfast, and you would get a lot of money. Like Game of Thrones was the biggest one that started the whole movie making scene over there. And I would never take a job because you had to stay until 8 or 9 at night. I had gigs at the weekend, so I was like, I'm not doing it. So when COVID kicked in, I took a job in the movie sets. And just overnight, people not working, they were always on the computers, they were in the house, they were looking for entertainment. And videos that I had maybe up 4 or 5 years that had 300, 400 hits, overnight went to millions. And sort of people started recognizing me in the street, and I was going, what's this about? And then I done a podcast and told a few stories that went viral. And then when the restrictions got relaxed, my management company that have me now, they came in and says, we have all these emails, people wanting to know when your next gig is. So we put one on in the Limelight, and it sold out in 2 minutes. And they put on, and after about 4 hours later, I had sold 7 nights in the Limelight. And then they says, we'll try the Ulster Hall. And they put on Ulster Hall and we sold that out. And then they put on a Waterfront and we sold that out.
That's mad.
It was insane. So I went from selling, at the most, I think I sold 105 tickets to one show in Belfast one time before that.
And the thing is, what I love about you so much, and I think that's why we get on, is you're so grounded as well. It never gets to you. I mean, I remember one minute you were doing the SSE, and I think the next morning me and you were FaceTiming or something. Like, it doesn't faze you. To you, it's just a normal day.
Yeah.
And that's why, you see a few people, and they get a little bit of the glimpse of the iceberg, is to say, and then all of a sudden they just completely change. But that's one thing you've never had. You've always been a part of the people, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't see myself as anything. I'm just I'll say that instead. I'll just say I'm an ordinary bloke. It's just done well, and I'll when I got on the stage at the SSE, I turned around and I says, this is insane to me that just an ordinary fella and you've all came to see it, So I don't see myself as anything other than just me.
Take your mind back. So I mean, first of all, I never knew that your missus threw you under the bus by taking you to an open mic night and then putting your name down.
I mean, I can't thank her enough.
No.
And the same thing also, I don't hate the guy bit my finger off now, because I think what happened was
it was meant to be.
Yeah,
100%.
And something happened to make me go down the right path.
100%.
And it's a bit of a finger. I've got a good Bluetooth now. It's that's my phone. That's my Bluetooth.
But cast your mind back then. First time you're about to play the SSE Arena, right? Just before you go on and your music comes on, what is going through your mind?
I already knew what the gig was. I already knew in my head. I'd already done.
So you've already visualised what was happening?
I in my head I knew. And it ended up being a bit chaotic for me. It was my birthday. And the reason for that was every decent birthday I've had, 18th, 21st, 30th or 40, something happened. So when I got asked to do the SSE, manager phoned me, was like, listen, your numbers, you outsold Cabin Bridges in fucking no time. They put the Waterfronts, 2 Waterfronts on sale at the same time as Cabin Bridges put 2 SSEs on. And I was like, why are you going up against them? And they were like, no, this is for us to see. And we sold out first. And I was like, fuck, I couldn't believe it. He's such a household name, a great act, great guy. And I was like, I can't believe it. Just I was able to sell it quicker than him. So they were like, that's you're going to do the arena next year. and they give me 4 dates, and my birthday came up, and I was like, that's exactly what I'm doing, because I didn't know if I was going to do it once, so I was like, may as well do it my birthday. So I had a cake on stage, and so there was too much happened, but it was like the best birthday I've ever had.
When was it?
12th of May. Be mad if I didn't remember the date.
No, the actual year.
Oh.
Be mad if you remembered the year, wouldn't it?
I can't remember the year. It must have been 23 or 22.
Yeah?
Yeah. And out the back of the SSE, what people don't know is the whole corridor is a wall of fame.
Aye.
And like every time you play it, you're on it. But my name is there, and it's Elton John, Paddy McDonnell, Snoop Dogg. And I'm like, if there was ever a sandwich with an Elton John, I didn't think Snoop Dogg would be the RN. Do you know what I mean?
That is amazing, though, isn't it?
No,
I mean,
that to me is insane. Looking at that, because it's something that's wrote down. You know, because I would forget, and you would go, "Fucking yeah, I've played the SSE." You know, because people sometimes would go, "Oh, if they meet you somewhere, what have you done?" And somebody goes, "He plays the arena in Belfast," and people are like, "Wow." You know, oh, you've played the arena, and you're like, who for? Who be you supporting? And I'm like, no, for myself. And they're like, well, really? So sometimes you forget. So when you see something like that, it reminds you, and you're going, that's insane.
Makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because I remember now, thinking back to it, I remember I was supporting Kieran, and I was doing like a sound check, and you come on stage and you were filming a promo for it.
That's right.
You remember? I just remembered that.
Yeah.
But
and I was really worried about you at the time.
Yeah, I was worried when you were worried. You said, like, I was already shitting myself.
I went down to the production team, and I was like, it's going to be really important that you get a camera close up to his hands and stuff too for him. Because in my head, I'm always thinking of for the person. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, lads, you can't do him dirty here. It's fine with a comedian. You just get his face and the top half of his body. But with Ben, he is really, for people to realise how good he is, you need to get like the cards. And, you know, I was like, and I went into Kieran and I was like, can you not get fucking something? And he does it on a table or something so that people can fucking actually see how good. And they've 3 screens. So, like, that was the way I was looking at it.
It worked. I was, in terms of gigs, that was like the first one I did. I mean, I did the Empire first, didn't I? And I had the red, white and blue trainers, and you went...
And I went, you're wearing the wrong trainers.
Exactly, yeah. But that was the first encounter I had with you. And then obviously the SSE. But in terms of shows, that was the first time I really did magic on a big stage in Belfast. And it's one of them where it's like when I support a music act, people aren't there to see magic. They're there to see music or hear music. And then when I come on, it's almost as if, well, this is different. Fucking, and people are glued to it because they don't. It's like a car crash. Everyone watches a car crash, and they're like, oh, we shouldn't like this, but it's ended up being all right.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, I remember walking off there going, fuck me, that's amazing. And then I clocked, I thought, I might be the first magician who's played here. And then as I'm walking down, I'm looking at all the plaques. I see Oasis, Kings of Leon, Paul Weller and all this. And then I see Dynamo, don't I? And I'm like,
bastard.
Oh, exactly. But listen, I soon changed that to the Magic Mod, didn't I? No, but Dynamo, going back to him, it's he was probably one of the first magicians in the UK who then went on to do big arenas. He'd done a whole arena tour, and I watched him in Brighton do an act, and it's something no one's ever asked me. I don't know. Sorry that I'm asking you stuff, but it's just happened. I don't know how I'm talking about myself.
It's weird because he's just literally came up in my feed this past couple of weeks.
Yes,
he's back in the.
He's back in the game and that, and it's. Do you know what I used to, when I was on the drink and all that, I always used to muck about and go, who's she and all that, you know. But what Dynamo did do for magic is he kept it relevant because he built a platform and people were watching it.
Modernised it.
And it was such a good thing to do because there was a time when magic was in the dark and people were like, of course, people were still going out doing weddings and functions and stuff, but it wasn't mainstream. Yeah. Then he come up and all of a sudden everyone wanted to go back into magic, and it helped so many people, but not many people would go out and say that. Yeah. But I would, because what he's done for magic's brilliant. And member in a magic circle as well. But that is something that I would love to achieve myself. I mean, first of all, last year was the first time I ever done my own headline tour. And even mentioning it is fucking mental, Paddy, because
it's a milestone.
Went from like doing pubs for a fucking pint of beer and a packet of pork scratchings or something to ending up doing your own tour performing in some of the best, some of the best venues. And we mentioned the venue earlier, the Barrowlands, that you played there. And I've been lucky enough to play there. I mean, some of the venues we're performing in, you have to pinch yourself, don't you?
Yeah. It freaks you out a wee bit. The Barrowlands for me is because of who I've seen it and who's played it. And you're going, fuck, I got to play it. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, and I said to the guy, I only need to do this once. Doesn't have to be an annual thing because they normally don't do comedy on it. And he was like, no, I'll do it for you. And I was like, that's insane. Like, that I just couldn't believe it. And me and Larry Dean done it, who's in Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
He done a show right after my show, and we were the only two comedians at that whole entire Glasgow Comedy Festival that done that venue. And it was the same for him, obviously. He obviously wanted to play it, or he wanted
That's fucking...
Yeah, just Paddy McDonnell, I don't know, one or two.
Oh, probably the same night as Paddy McDonnell, mate. Everyone
and
wants to be...
now fucking... He's way up there, flying.
That's mad, though. One thing I do want to touch up on as well, Barrowlands is... It's so iconic. I mean, I remember going through there and you can literally smell the history. And when you walk through the back bit underneath by the market and then walk up and you see all the posters along the stairs, Spiral Carpets, Simple Minds, Oasis, Paul Weller.
Paddy McDonnell.
Who?
Paddy McDonnell was his.
No, that must have been pulled down for whatever reason. But it's
only temporary one.
It's absolutely mind blowing. I mean, I don't know how it is for you, Paddy, but I mean, for me, like, even as I said, even going back when we're talking about the SSE Arena, to see the names that have performed there, and then like for me to have done a support, but for you to have actually headlined,
I never even thought of there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Did you think you?
No, it was never. I never ever thought of the SSE. It wasn't.
Is that because you thought it was too much, though?
No, but I hadn't seen anybody there. Do you get what I mean? It was like you didn't really go there, and then Peter Kay started doing it, and then Kevin Bridges started doing it, and you were going because like when the big names that we went to see, which was like Billy Connolly and stuff, they'd done the Waterfront. No. So do you get what I'm saying? It was never SSE was where you went to see bands.
True.
And then comedians started doing it, but never in my head did I think, oh, we're going. And then one of the local guys who, you know, sort of I came up with on the ranks, Colin Gaddis, he was the first out of us to do it. And I can remember him saying, I've just booked the SSE, and I was like, what? Like, it was mind-blowing to me. I was going, really? And he's like, yeah. And I remember going home and going, wow, he's like doing the SSE. Like, it never even came into my head to do it. And then when I got asked to do it, it was just like,
no-brainer.
Well, it wasn't even a no-brainer. I was like, in my head, I was going, do you think I could fill it? Like, you know, it was always that worry.
I had a similar, you know, what I like talking about you is because it's so similar in ways, but not the actual act, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the industry's the same no matter what you do. I mean, you're a magician. I tell jokes.
Yeah.
Well, tell stories. But, you know, it's
people normally laugh when I do a trick, and I'm not sure
if that's right or not.
Yeah.
My wife normally laughs when I take my clothes off, but that doesn't mean I've told her.
She does that for me as well.
Does she?
But
she may be my wife, but she's your girlfriend.
But like, I remember when
your mum.
I got told, you bastard. I remember. Fuck up. I remember.
He's a lovely girl.
Thank you. I remember that was it when I got offered the limelight, and it was so surreal, Paddy, because I remember when I first come to Belfast and me and the Dean, we went and saw the DMAs play the limelight, and that was the first time I walked in there. And I don't know what it is because it's a music venue. Do you know what I mean? But I just thought, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know,
it is a pretty cool venue.
If you look past the fact that they clean the floor every 10 seconds, you know what? That is fucking wild. Like, I've never been to a place where, like, literally 1 second they're cleaning it, they're back again in another 5 seconds with a mop. Fucking wild. But I was like, same as what you just said, could I feel this? And I actually thought, could I sell tickets? And my wife, I know, like, as soon as I put a show on, the first thing I worry about is, fuck, is anyone going to come? Is anyone going to come?
You try not to look at the ticket sales.
100%. And I didn't want to know.
You can't help.
I didn't want to know. And then a few days before, no, in fact, I was in So done the Opera House studio. We sold that one out, and like it was unbelievable. The response to that show was fucking incredible. Whether it's because a magician hasn't played Belfast for a long time, I don't know, but it was in fucking mental.
Do you think that you would get a different type of audience in the Opera House than you did till the Limelight?
100%. Yeah, I think I did. 100%.
Because people go to me, why do you
100%.
why have I not played the Opera House? Because it's
Yeah.
1,000 and the studio's a couple hundred.
Yeah.
People's like, why? I have performed in it, but never put on a show for myself. And people's like, why not? And I'm like, my audience, the best way to describe it is like the darts of comedy.
And yeah.
My audience are like, they're all
No, now you've said that.
And I don't want to bring them in the Opera House because I don't think they behave. But I think if I put a show in there, I may get different people.
I think, do you know what? Now you've mentioned that, I did notice a lot different. I mean, the when we did the Opera House, which was, again, probably one of the best shows I've done in Belfast, and I'm not just saying that, it really was, Paddy. Like, I got a fucking standing ovation, right? And I didn't even think that was possible at a Magic Act. And I remember as I put my cards down to say goodnight, and I turned around, and people were standing up, and I was like, fuck me, that is mental, right? And then went off and did the other shows, and I didn't want to know about the Limelight. And then they come back, and for me, it was a good number. And I was like, fuck me.
Yeah.
Right? It was half the room, right? Which, as again, I would have been happy if 10, 30 people, but the fact that it was half the room, and that there's a photo of me on the stage, and you can see the crowd, and it looked rammed, and I'm like, do you know what? I am over the moon with that.
Yeah.
And what we did is we had a big screen in the background, so I could have done a lot of stuff that I didn't do at the Opera House. Because as you seem, yeah, all right, I'm half decent on the stage. But when you see the close-up stuff, you go, fuck me. And that's what you need to do on a stage somehow. So when I did that, it was fucking unbelievable, yeah. Paddy. But I get, and I've never really, I don't know if you get this, but sometimes I get a lot of imposter syndrome.
It can happen.
So and it happened when I had Marvin on the show, and I was talking, he's president of the Magic Circle, and I said to him, like, I walked through when I was at the Magic Circle for the first time, and I thought, how am I here? Exactly. Why am I doing here? How's this happened? And then he sort of said, well, you know, you had to do a test. You've got to be at a certain level. You've got to be like, Magic Circle's for elite magicians. And as soon as he said that, I sort of thought, do you know what? I've got to start giving myself a bit of credit here. Because, you know, but do you ever sort of get that, mate? Do you ever like...
I have had it.
Would you, sorry to interrupt you, but would you get to a venue early, get in the dressing room, chill out, or are you literally stay at your own house or stay somewhere else, go to the venue straight on the stage?
I like being in the venue early when it's a theatre show and setting up and being involved. I hate the fact that I think that people would be like setting up my show in the arena and they're like, he just turns up and does his gig.
Diva-ish.
Yeah, but like, when I was doing the arenas and stuff, I would turn up with donuts for everybody and go, here, let's have a coffee and a donut. And I would jump on stage and they're going, what are you doing? What are you lifting? And I'm going, I just like to be involved. Do you know what I mean? It's not, and just put everybody at ease. And I just think if you have everybody like going, well, he's actually okay. He's not a bad guy. I don't want people going, didn't even see him. You know, because I've gigged with big acts. I've done support for Kevin Hart. And people say, what's he like? And I'm like, he literally didn't let me sit anywhere near him, didn't speak to me, didn't come in. You know, if I have like somebody doing support for me, I'll go and talk to them and, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And travel with them and even offer to drive them and still the venue but he didn't do that. And then I don't know if that's because he's at that level of like fame where people don't let you near him. But I think there's being nice and being nice. Do you know what I mean?
But I think that's also where you're from as well. I think that's a Belfast thing, because 100%. Because people over here, if I've supported some people, they wouldn't fucking take me out for a tour or ask me this and that. Do you know what I mean? When I've done like some comedy or supported some other comedians over in London, whereas as soon as I'm in Belfast, you know, it's very what's the word I'm looking for? Hospitable. I can't get the word out, but it is. You know, they couldn't do enough for you, mate.
He could pull it out of a card deck, though.
100%.
Can't get it out of his mouth, but he get it out of a card.
I do think that's a Belfast thing, mate, where I just think people are
friendly.
So 100%, mate.
Really friendly place, but yet fight each other.
Aye, yeah. and that's just
And we're very similar.
that's just the women.
That's just the women.
But like as soon as when I first met you, as I said at the Empire, you know, we got on as if we knew each other, and I feel, and then when I've met some other comedians, it's just like some, as I said, are friendly enough, and some just
back home as well.
Yeah. You know, couldn't really give a fuck, but you know, that's them. But I think there's more people who would look after you than the rest. You know,
I have this thing where that support each other, because to me it's not an individual thing. When we started, it was very competitive. What gig are you getting? How's you getting that gig? You know, and I kept saying to everybody, we need to work together, because if we work together, we didn't have a comedy scene. Still don't kind of have a comedy scene. We only had the Empire, and right up until I started emceeing it once a month, when COVID kicked in, I would play it maybe twice a year, and that's my hometown. And so we didn't have a scene, and that's the only established comedy. Well, I have Laveries and stuff like that, but we didn't have a scene. So we all got so good because we were playing with each other in the same venues over and over and over, creating nights. And I think we all got so good so quick because of that. Because when I came to London, people were like 15 years and they still only had 12 minutes of material, and you're going, what? You know, I have fucking 7 1-hour shows. You 7? No, I have, like, I write 2 shows a year.
Yeah?
And I'll do one of them. And the first time I do a show is when I do the SSE, which is the arena. Like, I won't have tried that material. There's a lot of comedians and they do work in progress and stuff. I don't do that. I do the biggest show and then take it on tour. And then the tour, it's different. You can go to the start of the tour and then you go to the end, and it's probably a different type of show, because I work the material as I go along, and I try and give something different every night. And people go, well, you can go and see him 2 or 3 times a year.
100%.
You know, and 70% of the show could be different, you know, and the crowd work, and, you know, and I hate, like, I stopped putting videos up of me doing crowd work because people are going, oh, you're just copying fucking Paul. Nobody invented crowd work. Crowd work's always been a thing. Musicians do crowd work, and
I do crowd work massively, and, mate.
You know, so it's never been like a one person came up with that. But you'll put out the crowd work because it's not necessarily material that you've written. You know what I mean?
100%.
So that I like doing that, whatever too. But it's crazy, and I just don't think you change. You just be the person that you are. And I always try and help people. If I'm talking to somebody and I've just met them, and they ask me a bit of advice, I'll give them it, and I'll say, here, what about this? Or would you try that? I just like to see people doing well.
And I think that's a lovely thing, because a lot of people, they don't.
Yeah.
They think, why is he doing that and I'm not? And why is this and that? So, you know, and for me, I love, like, we had a comedian here a couple of weeks ago, and he's never played Belfast. And I ended up, because I did the Empire, got the email, passed it on to him, and hopefully he'll end up playing Belfast.
Yeah.
I always think, if you're in a position where you can sort of help someone out or give them a little step on the ladder, fucking do it. Life's too short, isn't it? 100%, mate. You do good, and I think it comes back twice as good, man.
I believe in a wee bit of karma, like I do.
You got some other... sorry, started there, sorry. So do you reckon you'll play Belfast Arena again next year? This year?
No.
No? Leave it for a while.
The cost has got too big.
Was it?
So, like, putting the stage up, we have to cover the ice. We have to interact the stage. You have to put all the screens.
Of course, they play ice hockey,
It's massive. And wages have went up. Everything's went up. So you don't make as much money. So I think I've done well the 5 years. So like, why don't we...
Quit while we're ahead sort of thing on that
in my head, I'm going, why not do a world tour of Belfast? So I'll play like 5 different venues in Belfast. Do one Limelight, do a Waterfront, do an Ulster Hall. Do you know what I mean? Play all the wee different venues.
Must say, the
Waterfront's fantastic, by the way.
See, I've never been in there, never even stepped foot in there. And the wife,
so good.
She said to me, you go in there, you'll fall in love with it. Because for me,
so good.
The main one that I always wanted to play, and as soon as I went in there and saw a pantomime, it was the Opera House. Obviously, I'd done the studio, but the main room, I went in there and I just went, this is stunning. Because you can imagine putting on a magic show in there, like a real evening of magic.
I've seen a couple of magicians in there.
Have you?
Yeah. I've seen... Is he a magician? I don't know.
Who? Don't say Darren Brown.
He's not a magician.
Really? No. He'd be like a mind reader. Yeah. Fantastic.
Paul Daniels. Seen Paul Daniels in there.
He played there?
He played in the Opera House, yeah. For Children in Need.
Brilliant.
In
I didn't know that.
the 90s. I think it was like
It must have been a long...
93, 94 maybe.
Yeah?
Maybe even 92. Something like that.
If Tommy Cooper ever played it, 'cause it's got that sort of vibe to it. I wonder. I just
sure.
never even known.
Not sure, but it definitely seen Paul Daniels on it.
But it's just got one of them feels to it, where especially the way it's tiered up, and you can see. Because I went to a show. Do you remember Jimmy Cricket?
Mm-hmm.
I saw him at the Opera House, and me and the wife were right at the back. Got tickets last minute, right at the back. And
was
even
it
though we're
him
at
and
the
5 other comedians?
that's it. Did you
Gene
go?
Fitzpatrick.
Yes, and your man Roy Walker.
Roy Walker.
Did you go to it?
No, they don't talk to me anymore.
Oh, okay.
So
Cut that bit out.
no, you can put it in.
All right, so leave the bit of me just saying cut that bit out then. Oh, okay. Right.
So,
but it was a good night, mate. I mean, I've grown up like there's Michael Barrymore. Do you remember him? I used to like his comedy work as a kid, and Jimmy Cricket.
Hotspot.
That's it. I'm quite happy actually, because you know what? I commented on one of his videos yesterday on TikTok.
He interact with you,
Mate, he ended up following me, and I'm like, bonus. So I followed him back, but. As someone, I mean, listen, people have got mixed reviews about him and mixed reviews about a lot of people, but for me, I like him for his comedy work.
Yeah, he was massive.
Don't care about anything else. His comedy work, he was
massive.
Hilarious. Jim Davidson, remember him?
Not a big fan.
Not a big fan? No, not for his comedy work.
He was good on Big Break.
Yeah.
But in terms of comedian, he's very, and this is just me, this is just my style. I just think he would take cheap shots at people. And
I think that's an easy way out. Like we spoke about that earlier on the plane. Yeah. Certain comedians looking for easy targets, and I'm not a fan of that stuff. It is, as you say, it is a cheap shot.
It's a cheap shot, and you know, I'm very self-deprecating. So when I go on, like a lot of the jokes will be about me, and I'll make them about me. Don't get me wrong. If somebody in the audience is going to give me a hard time, like you're in trouble because I'm like a gunslinger, and when it comes to crowd work, I will fucking take you down. But it's I just think like picking on we disabled kids.
Shouldn't be doing it, mate. Shouldn't it be about? It's a cheap shot, isn't it?
And look, comedy to me is subjective. It's up to whoever wants to do it, and if you want to do it, that's fine. It's like food. You either like it or you don't like it. If you don't like it, don't go. You know, a big fan of Frankie Boyle, and I always liked this stuff.
Yes,
but he also took a cheap shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did.
And I was doing the gig. I was bringing him to Belfast to do the Fela, which was in the Falls Park.
Yes.
And the gig was going to get cancelled because it was a community festival funded thing. And people were like, he shouldn't be playing here. And it sold out in minutes. And we were like radio silence. And it was a big deal to me, you know, to support him. And I wasn't allowed to talk about it. And then on the night, there was meant to be 4,500 people in the tent. And they counted 7,800 nods where they were climbing over the walls to get in because it was the most sought after ticket, you know.
Yeah.
And they were. It was funny because when we brought him to Belfast, he actually talks about me on podcasts and stuff. Tommy McCarthy, who was a boxer and now a comedian,
yes,
he does support for me. His dad was actually sent as Frankie's bodyguard because obviously it was like contentious and stuff. And we went down to meet him at the boat, and because he doesn't fly, and when he got off the boat. He was like, "Hey, you," and Tommy's dad was like, he says he describes him as a heavyweight boxer. He was like, "I'm your advisor," and I started laughing, and Tommy's dad turned around and went, "I'd advise you to fuck up." But Frankie Boyle tells that story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But yeah, he came and it was like media silence, and they were like, but when we were driving up and where I'm from, the mountain,
yes,
Black Mountain. You'll see writing on it every now and again where they put like protests
support
and stuff, right? So it's always been used for that. And at the time, they had no interment, which means no imprisonment without trial. But when Frankie was driving up the road, he didn't have his glasses on or something. And he went to me, "Is it that bad up here? It says no internet." On the mountain. But yeah, no. I mean, it's great that I've done these things and brought these people. Jason Manford came. He was actually, to me, he was my favourite one that I brought into West Belfast, and he played the big tent in the middle of Falls Park. And So moments like that were massive for me. That was before I was a name.
100%.
And that was like, to me, if I headlined the Fela, which is my local community festival, if I headlined that, I'd be happy. Fucking headlined it 7 times now, you know. And that, to me, is a bigger achievement than the SSE.
Yeah.
Even though the SSE is massive.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, but to me, that's like a Belfast thing. That's me, like, for
That's like your home. That's like your sort of people.
Belfast,
Yeah.
headlining that meant more to me. It was just like, that was a big deal. Like, going from being a support act, MC, and I'm actually the only comedian that's played Fela, I think it's 11 times now.
Fuck.
There's like, nobody's played that many times.
You done all right then, ain't you? Good on you,
and
man.
that to me is a bigger achievement, and it's only a local community
100%,
festival.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? But it means that much to me, you know. So
That's
I
good
suppose
though.
it'd probably be like you. What would be your dream venue to play?
Oh, Brixton Academy. Brixton Academy. Jamie T, do you remember him? Singer? If you got the money,
Yes.
I think it would be brilliant. So I went and saw him, Brixton Academy, and I've seen many people there. But the first time I think I went in there was to watch Jamie T. And I just looked up, and the ceiling is so magical that it looked like the galaxy. I mean, maybe it's because I was fucking
The chocolate?
the actual like the
It's like a
Milky,
big
like it was
chocolate ceiling.
beautiful. It looked like all these planets and that, right?
Willy Wonka?
Maybe it was because I was fucking high off my nut or something, but I was looking up and it was just the most magical thing. And around the stage is like a little village. It's like all these, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just absolutely stunning, right? And as soon as anyone asks me, it's always been Brixton Academy. Is it unreal? Is it realistic? Who knows? Could it be done? Who knows? Will it happen? Who knows? But it's like, if you don't,
what does Brixton Academy hold?
about 5,500, 6,000. I've done supporting like the Libertines and that. I think we went past Kentish Town earlier on, played Kentish Town Forum. I think that's 3.5. Done that twice with solo Pete Doherty.
So why could you not?
No, it could be done. It could be done, and it nearly did happen with a
like
band.
If somebody was to come in here now and go, Ben,
yeah.
could you go on at Wembley?
Oh, 100%. Nearly right. Funny.
Could you do it?
100%.
That's what I mean.
Without. Yeah. I've got the material to do. But like, so similar to you saying you write your own sets. I'm constantly writing stuff with Magic, always. So on my phone, I've got a list of set lists, and I must have well over 100, Paddy. Mm-hmm. Because what I do is I go, say we played this room here. It's very intimate. What tricks would I do? Well, they'd have to be really intimate tricks. I couldn't do big ones that I do on a stage because it would just get completely lost. You wouldn't. It would still come across well, but it would get lost. Whereas when you're on a stage, if you did the small close-up ones, you need to do stuff where you're away from someone. So a trick I love to do is where on a big stage is the trap one, which we had fun bringing that over this morning on the at the airport.
You said today, I was convinced you were going to lose it.
Nearly. That's the closest I've ever been to not actually getting it back.
I was surprised that you were allowed to bring it on.
It is a bit. So basically, for people listening or haven't seen a show, I've got like an antique trap that I bought in Margate when I was with the Libertines.
When you were telling me this prior, I was imagining a steel cage. It's not that.
No.
It's like
an old
trap.
Yeah, it is.
You would see that has the closes on a leg or something like that. Yeah.
And if you actually look at it, it's out there. There is actually dry blood on it, because when I first did it, I caught the top of my nail and my nail peeled right back, and there was blood everywhere, and it just went all on this trap.
So does it not worry you doing that instead? It'll happen to somebody else.
Well, here's the thing. I used to do it pissed up, but when I'm pissed up,
it works better.
No, but you got no fear because you think, fuck this. A lot of people used to say, yeah, but your tricks, and I went, mate, my tricks were fucking deadly pissed up because I was so sharp with it. I like to think I'm very good with comebacks. In my shows and that, as soon as someone does it, I'm boom, similar to yourself, but with Magic, it's so good. It's similar, but you can shut someone down with a trick and a bit of patter. But when I was doing that, it didn't cross my mind. And then since being sober, coming up to 4 years, Paddy, it's like every time, like if you watched me last year doing it, I hesitated so many times because it was a point where you think, this might go wrong here, this might go wrong. Whereas before I couldn't care less. But that's sorry, that is one you can do on a stage. But as I say, I've got so many different set lists ready for. You never know if a band might. Yeah, if a band. I nearly done the O2. I was very close to doing the O2 with a certain somebody, and the reason it didn't happen.
Died.
No.
Michael Jackson.
No. That was bad. The reason it didn't happen.
Thriller of a night, that
I don't really know any more Michael Jackson songs, to be honest with you. But I was thinking of one then. But the reason it didn't happen is because they already had 3 support acts already, and it all had to do with timings. But it was literally, do you want to do that? I went 100%. Have you got stuff to do? 100%. And it was a few days before they said, look, this ain't going to happen, but you still want to come to the show. And I went to the show and it was brilliant. And Oasis were grass, but they weren't them. But it was like, it was close to happening.
Is that the ultimate band support?
Oh, it wouldn't happen. But yeah.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do something with the Who.
Who?
Yeah. You know, heard of them? But
who are you?
That would probably be more realistic than anything else because of what they do. Yeah, because they do a lot of like the Teenage Cancer Trust gigs and that. And I can sort of see myself not hosting. I mean, I could do it, but like maybe hosting and doing a few tricks in between. But that would be brilliant. I mean, I've been asked before, who would you like to do it with? And I'd love to do it with Johnny Marr, obviously Noel or Liam, but it wouldn't. I don't think it would work with them. Don't think it would work. I mean, you've seen what the Oasis crowds are like. I mean, saying that, Brian Jonestown and the Libertines have got a pretty hardcore crowd, and it works. And I made a good following off the back there. But as I said to you earlier, not everyone's going to like you, so I don't go out there thinking I'm going to move mountains. I'm a bit like Marmite. People either love me or they fucking hate me. There's no in between, mate.
But I think you get that. I like going to concerts and then seeing something that you weren't expecting.
Yeah, but imagine going to like a concert, right? And next thing you know, you see, this is how they described me at the Barrowlands, right?
Some cunt.
I got that as well. Like a Cockney Del boy looking like Liam Gallagher and looking like an extra from Quadrophenia. This review, right? It was brilliant because it wasn't like they were slating me. They were like, next thing you know, we've got this Del boy.
They're saying you were interesting.
They loved it, and they said it was something along the lines. It's on my website, the quotes, because it was beautiful. Something along the lines that.
What's that cost you?
Huh? Oh shit! Don't cat's out the bag now. It was my mum who sent that in. I can't think who it was. It was they'd done a whole review of the gig, and they said something like there was moments in it that were pure beautiful because he just kept on stopping. So I stopped at one point halfway through a trick and just took it all in and went, fuck me, this is unbelievable. Yeah. And he said by the end of it, even the drunken locals couldn't find them in themselves to do nothing but clap and cheer. Yeah. And it was beautiful. But listen, who knows? The beauty about this industry, Paddy, is you never know who's going to call you one day.
You just have to keep going.
And you always have to keep your tools sharpened, mate. Mm-hmm. So what's up? What's coming up for you then? What is? In fact, what would you like to achieve before you hang up your mic?
Well, it's went a wee bit wayward where I'm now into acting and writing plays and that end of it, which is slightly different. So I would love to have a comedy movie or like a comedy sitcom.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think.
Could I be one of the extras?
No.
Thanks.
It's going to be based in Belfast and don't want any English in it. So
I'll work on my accent. Get here now. Anyway, so
yeah.
But in terms of your comedy movement, would you say you've achieved and accomplished everything that you've wanted to do?
Yeah, and above, like it's got to the stage where you're doing things and going places like going to America and going to Australia. They weren't even
wild, isn't it?
They weren't even in the
script.
Yeah, it was like never. It was just perform here and do this. And I remember just sitting at one stage going, like when I brought the bigger lads over to do the fella and you were seeing how much they were getting, and I was going, fucking hell, is that how much they get for an hour? And I remember going, this is unbelievable. Like if I got to the stage where I was getting 500 quid a week, I was going, this would be amazing. That'd be my job, you know. And to get where I've got, it's just been
It's hard work though, isn't it?
Yeah.
No one, no one's going to give you anything. You have got to put yourself in the right place at the right
100%,
time and just graft your bollocks off.
Yeah.
You can't take your foot off the gas.
And to keep yourself right, you have to.
100%.
Every time you need to go out, you need to do the business because you want them people coming back. So
definitely,
it's one of them. It's just a continuous thing, and I sort of took my mind off certain things, and I haven't been back in London in 2 years, because the last time I came here, there was a tube strike or a train strike, and there was a mess up with the Thames at Leicester Square Theatre, and I was like, that's it, I'm done. And I had built momentum, and I've come back today, and there's another tube strike.
And the flight got diverted.
And the flight got diverted. So somebody keeps telling me to stop coming here, like, you know what I mean?
They just see you with your hold on and think, fucking hell.
Belfast. Fuck. Belfast.
No, but listen, I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me. It may seem like nothing for you, but for me, coming over to Belfast and you sort of giving me opportunities. I mean, even today, coming over with you, we've had a little day out and we'll be doing a show later. Yep. Looking forward to it, mate. So listen, thank you very much. And when I get a slot at the SSE, you can support me, all right?
Yeah, here. I hope that works that way.
You never know, mate. You never know. But listen, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me.
Top man, thank you.
All the best.